Hello once again, everybody. Tommy Maroon here for yet another rendition of the Tommy Maroon Sports Show. As usual, high octane stuff that's going on. I'm pretty excited about it. High school football. Cleveland Indians making a push for the playoffs, and the Cleveland Browns, who we'll see what they've been up to, especially with last Sunday against the Rams and what they have ahead. And speaking of high school football, let's ask my trivia question of last week, which was about high school football. When did the Suburban League split into two divisions? And the correct answer was 2015. For years, it was just one league. And then in 2015, they decided to add a bunch. A bunch came and a few left. The result, the American Conference and the National Conference. So we're going to continue with high school football, as we're going to look at our Week 4 recap. Barberton was able to plow Highland 49-17, a big win for the Magics. Aurora continues their hot streak, 14-13 win against Padua. Roosevelt beats Copley 31-20. Revere also beat Talmadge 17-16, a big win there for the Minutemen. And meanwhile, holy upset, Batman! Both Stowe and Wadsworth lost. Yes, this is not an oversight. Brecksville was able to shock Stowe in overtime, 42-35. And Stowe, a team that, in case you don't know, they should win the National Conference. If not, it's going to be Wadsworth. They should have done it, or they should beat Brecksville. Must win there, but nope. And Hudson, speaking of Wadsworth, they also lost, 37-35. So that's really going to crush Wadsworth's hopes, because they start off 2-0, heavyweight favorites, and then back-to-back losses. One to mighty Medina, who, by the way, Medina is going up against the top-ranked Mentor. And this one to Hudson. But North Royalton was able to dodge the upset bug. They beat Cuyahoga Falls 42-20. And Nordonia was able to beat Twinsburg 38-10. So as you can tell, every team in the Suburban League has at least one in-conference game except for Aurora. And we'll go from the left of your screen to the right of your screen. Power rankings, the American Conference. These are my power rankings, by the way, which came up with me doing some math with the stats and stuff. Their points and who they played and what was the score. Aurora top in the American Conference, perfect 4-0. Then comes Barberton, 3-1, 1-0. Revere has the same things as Barberton, but one rank lower. Roosevelt fourth with a 2-2 record. Copley is fifth. Talmadge 6th, and those Hornets are 7th place. Dead last, 0-4, but it's all right. Highland, a team full of great people, full of great stars. Let me tell you something, they are really great people, and you shouldn't really be that mad at them because they are doing a mighty good job. They're hanging in it for most of the games. So yeah, I know I give them some confidence. They almost beat North Royalton last week too. But don't feel down on yourself, Highland. You got still a whole lot to play for. National Conference, Stowe is leading that to me. Then comes North Royalton, then Hudson, then Brecksville. Of course, 3 and 4 are fresh off upsets. Wadsworth is 5th. Nordonia is 6th. Cuyahoga Falls is 7th. Twinsburg is in dead last. But just look at numbers 3 to 7 right there. Everybody is 2-0. And Nordonia is 1-0 in conference play. I meant they're all 2-2, not 2-0, excuse me. But pretty clustered up there. Much more spread out in the American Conference, if you ask me. And then we got to look at Week 5. Aurora against Talmadge. Just a simple question. Who on earth can stop the Green Men? It looks like nobody can, and now they're going up against conference play. The two teams to highlight are Barberton and Revere, but with the way the Green Men have been playing, I won't be shocked if they're able to do anything, or I won't be shocked if they win. Excuse me. Barberton against Revere. This is it. One of these two teams can beat Aurora. They are 3-1, and if Aurora falls, these two can claim it. Stowe against North Royalton. Both teams are 3-1, and they are looking for some big for a win. And Nordonia against Wadsworth. Of course, both teams are 2-2, and Wadsworth has lost the last 2 games. So it's Cleveland Indians time as we look at some of the stats and all that great stuff. Let's start off with Oscar Mercado. 2.8 average within the last 7 games, which include the 2 series of the Tigers and Phillies. 2.8 average, 8 runs, 3 homers, 9 RBIs. Yasiel Puig had a .500 average, 12 hits, 7 RBIs. There's Carlos Santana. There's Carlos Santana's good friend, Yasiel Puig. Of course, Puig has been doing a really good job. So now time to talk about Puig's good friend, Carlos Santana. Santana with a .476 average, 10 hits, and 2 doubles. And of course, Adam Plutko. Adam Plutko is 1-0, a .261 ERA, 10.1 innings, and a .211 average allowed. Carlos Carrasco is 1-0, 0.00 ERA. There's Adam Plutko. 3 games, 5 innings, and 3 strikeouts. That was back in May for Adam, but that might be the best start of his entire career. 1 run and 1 hit. Trey Mancini home run. Now Plutko was absolutely going all out on that. Now with the big postseason push. Indians against Tigers. After that series, we have 58.5% chance at October, 57.6% at Wild Card, 0.9% at the AL Central, 28.3% at the ALDS, 12.4% at ALCS, 6.2% at the Pennant, 2.8% to win the World Series. And after the Phillies series, 56.1% chance at the playoffs, 55.6% at the Wild Card, 0.5% at the AL Central, 27.5% at the ALDS, 13.4% at the ALCS, 7.6% at the Pennant, and 2.7% to win the World Series. And of course, we won that series against Philly thanks to Oscar Mercado, who cranked that big go-ahead 3-run homer. Franmil Reyes also hit a home run in that game. And in the first game, Oscar Mercado had 2 RBIs. So now we're going to go back in time by a little bit to the series before the Philly series against the Tigers, or as I like to call, the Tiger-tanic, because they hit an iceberg called the Cleveland Indians. We swept them in 3 games, an 18-1 record. And remember what football team won 18-1? That's right, I'm referring to the 2007 Patriots. So, yep, the Indians are in mighty good company. We won the last 17 games against Detroit. Oscar hit a home run on the first game. Aaron Savali did Aaron Savali-like things. 7.2 innings, 1 earned run, 4 hits, and Yasiel Puig hit a walk-off single on second game. While Mike Clevenger won with 6 innings, 7 hits, 0 earned runs on third game. So, let's take off that Cleveland Browns hat of ours, or Cleveland Indians hat of ours, and let's put on that Cleveland Browns cap as we look at the stats of the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield so far, not the best, but still early on. He's still got a while, so don't be all panicked, folks. Still early on. Don't worry. Baker hopefully still has it. 56.9 completion percentage, 805 yards, 70.3 quarterback rating, 3 touchdowns, and 5 picks. Nick Chubb, 58 carries, 233 yards, 4 yards per attempt, and 4 on the dot. Better than the 3 yards in Cloud Dust when he got 4 and 1 touchdown. Odell Beckham Jr., of course, most of his stats came against that big Browns-Jets game. 19 receptions on the campaign, 288 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown. Yes, that was the 89-yard missile from Baker to Beckham. And Jarvis Landry, the other big receiver, 10 receptions, 161 yards, which means he's averaging 16.1 yards per reception. However, he's got 0 touchdowns, but we know that's going to change soon. We're going to look at that 2019 schedule for the Cleveland Browns. And as you can tell, we are going up against the NFC West, which include the Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, and Cardinals in that order. And we will go up against the AFC East, the New York Jets, and then after that, the New England Patriots, then the Buffalo Bills, and the Miami Dolphins. And in the words of an inside joke with my friends, Free Willie's dead brother, the Miami Dolphins. Yep. And we'll play the Broncos in the AFC West. We played the Titans in the AFC South, which was, of course, a 43-13 disaster, but it's all right. It's all right. Don't panic, folks. Do not panic, Browns fans. And we have 4 primetime games. 2 Monday Night Football. One of them happened to be against the Jets. Next one will be in 2 weeks from now against the Niners. 1 Sunday Night Football game against the Rams. 1 Thursday Night Football game against the big Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a huge rivalry, and hopefully another chapter will be written in that. Now, speaking of Sunday Night Football, here we go with Cleveland Browns, Los Angeles Rams, and unfortunately, it was a great effort for the Cleveland Browns, but we lost 20-13, unfortunately. The Rams go to 3-0 as they continue to look like the Super Bowl candidates they were heading into this season. First Sunday Night Football game for the Browns since 2008, and just the second Sunday Night Football game ever since Sunday Night Football moved from ESPN to NBC in 2006. And we are 0-2. That game was against the Steelers, a 10-6 loss. And it was also here at First Energy Stadium. Baker Mayfield went 18 for 36, 195 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. It's not shabby, but it's not the best. But it's all right. He's still looking pretty dominant, and the season is still fresh. Nick Chubb had 23 carries for 96 yards. However, he did not have a single touchdown. Austin Seibert went 2 for 2 for field goals and 1 PAT. Of course, Austin Seibert, who, despite many concerns about with the missed PAT at the beginning of the season, he's been looking good. He had 3 field goals on Monday night, 2 on Sunday night. So 5 field goals in 3 games, and hot diggity, hot doggity. That is oh so impressive. And our lone touchdown, well, there's Baker Mayfield rolling out. And that was not good, but don't worry, there was Austin Seibert, as we mentioned, looking very good. But as I was saying, Mayfield threw a touchdown pass to Demetrius Harris in the third quarter. That was our lone touchdown in the game. And John Johnson had a big interception in the end zone in the fourth quarter to seal the Rams' victory as Mayfield was picked off for his lone interception. Jared Goff didn't do bad, 24 for 38, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. While Brandon Cooks had 8 receptions, 112 yards, and Cooper Kupp, 11 receptions, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So those were the lone 2 touchdowns for the Rams. Turned out to be the big difference maker. So next week we'll be going up against the mighty Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson looking pretty dominant. He's trying to bounce back off a tough loss like what we did. Baltimore lost to Kansas City at Arrowhead, and we'll see what happens. Baltimore, Cleveland should be a fun one, and we'll have that all next week on the Tommy Maroon Sports Show to go along with the Cleveland Indians and their big playoff push and possibly postseason coverage. Buckle up, folks. We are in for a really good one, and of course, high school football, the Suburban League, as we will be halfway done with that. So now time to go with my trivia question of the week. What team has the most Suburban League championships? You got your answer? Why, we'll reveal it next week. Until then, have a great rest of your week. Can't wait to see you then.